Now that Human Resources Director Fernando Pino has Kronos for HR, payroll, talent, and time, he's completely crushing it. He even has his own hype song.
Supporting our entire workforce. Everyone has different hours, skill sets, and pay grades. Motivating and engaging our people every step of the way.
Kronos, HR solutions for the modern workforce and the people who support them. Learn more at kronos.com/HR swagger.
I'm on the top, I'm gonna rise up. I'm on the top, I'm gonna rise up. I'm on the top.
Hi, this is Thane Taylor from the Sleep Center. For over 20 years now, the Sleep Center has been known as Pensacola's mattress experts. But did you know that the Sleep Center is also Pensacola's adjustable bed, futon, cabinet bed, and beanbag experts? The Sleep Center opened in Pensacola in 1995 with the main goal of being the area's one-stop shop for all your bedding needs. Since then, we have become Pensacola's oldest and largest bedding superstore and have the highest Google rating of any store on the Gulf Coast. So if you want better sleep without all the fuss, come to the Sleep Center and leave the rest to us.
Good Wednesday afternoon. We've got a long meeting today. We're all hungry. Let's just get through this.
As you can see on the pie chart, pie.
Focus, Mary.
From the earnings report, we had some wings in September. Wings. Let's order Buffalo Wild Wings. We could concentrate better with full stomachs.
That's a game winner, Mary. You've earned yourself a promotion.
Earn yourself a promotion at your next staff meeting with Buffalo Wild Wings Pensacola large order takeout. BuffaloWildWings.com.
Now there's more fun for everyone at IP. The beautiful Bayview Cafe is here, open 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can dine anytime and meet up with friends for wine tasting at 850 Wine and Spirits. Plus, if you love sports, IP Sportsbook is where the action is, and now taking wagers. Better up.
IP Casino Resort and Spa. It's fun for everyone.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
All sports, all the time. ESPN Pensacola, 94.5 WYCT Pensacola.
The following has been produced by Talk Football LLC. Former Florida Gators quarterback, NFL quarterback, and NFL head coach. Coach K. Stevenson has a resume second to none, and now he's sharing his insider information with you. Talk Football with Coach K starts right now on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on your HD radio at HD2 98.7 WYCT and streaming on our website, ESPNpensacola.com. Welcome into Talk Football with Coach K on this Wednesday, May 22nd. I am Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K, and we are here in studio today. Going to be talking a little football with you for an hour here this afternoon, as we always do this time every day. Coach, diving into some of the headlines here. Mississippi State has extended Joe Moorhead's contract through the year 2022. This is going to boost up his average base salary of $3.2 million. That was his originally signed a 4-year deal that was worth $2.7 million. Now he's going to be making $3.2 million a year. Coach, you take a look at this. Year one with Joe Moorhead didn't exactly go as planned. They didn't exactly see the team that they thought they were going to see on the field. Multiple times, whenever you have a new head coach come in, that's the case that you see. It takes a year or two. But, Coach, very few oftentimes do we have a coach after year one where they finish at 8-5 on the year get an extension after his first season.
Well, that's true. And you have to look at the whole situation right now. That's what I think you have to do. And they did was a disappointment overall last year. They didn't achieve as much as they should have, I think. Now, word gets around, people talk and players hear that. Maybe what they're trying to do is to get some order in their organization, is to give him an extension, which is telling the players, hey, don't listen to that stuff about you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that because he won't be here. That's not true. He just got an extension. He's going to be here through your 4 years, so better get the job done with him, better get the discipline in there. I think they may have done it to prop him up some. Mississippi State is not the type institution that has millions to throw away in case they want to get rid of him. So that's the other flip side.
All right, Coach, let's move now to the NFL because there's an interesting situation going on here with the new rule that's kind of been changed a little bit to help with the pass interference calls, obviously, in the last 2 minutes of the game, basically allowing it to be reviewable. Coaches can throw flags, but now, Coach, we're finding out there might be a little bit of an extra amendment coming for that that could add to it. And, Coach, it's just overall an interesting situation and a step forward for the NFL as far as this rule goes.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go with this. I do know this. If you coaches, and I'm a former coach, but if you let coaches, you give them an inch and they take a mile and they keep stretching things, and then all of a sudden you've killed the golden goose. I don't know. I don't know where they can go. I'm not insinuating that, an extension of the PI calls will kill football. I'm not suggesting that, but I will say they're just going further and further and further. Now everybody wants a perfect game. And here's the bottom line, Jordan, they're not going to get a perfect game. It's not going to happen, either from the players, the coaches, the officials, the administrators, whoever. It's not going to happen. Not going to get the perfect game. So they're going to have to learn to live with it. It's probably there are probably fewer mistakes made in the NFL than any other sport that I can think of. So, including baseball, basketball, tennis, hockey, any of it. But they're trying to get, the coaches are trying to get additional calls, I suppose, for last-minute, late game PI calls, whether they're the right call or the wrong call. So we'll have to see what happens. There's an owners meeting coming up here right away, and it'll all be clarified in that meeting. We'll know a heck of a lot more to talk about on that.
Absolutely, Coach, and that is still going to be something that we continue to keep an eye on through that owners meeting, as Coach mentioned. Coach, some news for the Carolina Panthers. Greg Olsen has been cleared for everything: contact, practice, weightlifting, running, jogging, biking. He's cleared for everything with the team. And, Coach, that's good news, and that could be a big key if they are able to still get Cam Newton this upcoming season. If he's able to rest and rehab and recover in enough time to play in the 2019 season from that shoulder injury, Coach Greg Olsen could be a big target for him at that tight end position.
Oh, he's a heck of a tight end. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's been cleared. He's gonna be able to play. I think he loves it. Bad break for the Chicago Bears. They made now here's a mistake they made, personnel mistake. He was drafted by them. He had like 3 real good years and coming along, and yet they let him get out of there. But that's a story for another time. But I'm happy for him. Happy he's got the clearance, and he will make a difference.
All right, Coach, some more college football headlines here, as it looks like Maryland has landed transfer Virginia Tech's former quarterback Josh Jackson. He is now headed to be a Maryland Terrapin. And, Coach, the Terrapin coach Mike Loxley announced this Tuesday night. He also said that Tyler Mabry will join the Maryland football team as well. Jackson started 13 games for the Hokies in 2017 as a redshirt freshman, threw for 2,991 yards, 20 touchdowns, and he also ran for 300-plus yards as well. Coach, this is a big get for them, and this is for Coach Loxley there in Maryland. This is exactly what you needed.
Well, to start with, I'm not in favor of this transfer rule. I think this is further prostituted college football. But at any rate, this is a move for Maryland. I don't know how much difference they're going to make, but Maryland seems to be happy with it, and they may have been totally lacking in talent at those positions, and that will help if that's the case. But we'll have to see how that happens and whether they're going to fit. With the players that are there. That's another thing too. The players that are there could very well resent them coming in.
Absolutely, Coach. And some more quarterback news we have here in college football. Former Florida State quarterback, a lot of our listeners who are Florida State fans and just college football fans in this area in general will know DeAndre Francois. He has decided to walk on at FAU. So, Coach, Lane Kiffin getting a heck of a quarterback there as a walk-on at FAU.
Well, I'm going to let you say a heck of a quarterback. I won't say that.
Okay.
I don't think he's a heck of a quarterback. I think Florida State's lucky to get him out of there, and we'll see what happens at FAU. I don't know. That's a no care for me.
Now, the one thing here, of course, we do have to say DeAndre Francois did have some issues off the field, and that led to him leaving Florida State. But, that can be put behind him and move forward and kind of get things back on the right path at FAU. And we'll see what happens there with Lane Kiffin as the head coach. And, Coach, we are kind of removed from the draft now. We've been a few weeks removed from it. Teams are kind of starting to get into their off-season plans, their off-season workouts. OTAs have begun for most teams. Coach, I want to talk about some of the teams that really impressed you inside the NFL draft with how they've gone after it and how they've not just the NFL draft but free agency as well. And, Coach, you kind of were talking a little bit before the show started that there's one in particular that you are really impressed with the moves that they have made so far this offseason.
Yeah, well, there's one that has made significant change in their organization in rebuilding that organization, and that being the Colts. There are other teams that have done a very good job, obviously. But just to talk about the Colts in particular, because they've been under the radar. They've been like laying in the weeds, and all of a sudden, here they are. But look at what they've done. They've enhanced their football team tremendously through the draft.
Right.
Last year, they had an outstanding draft with players that most people would have said, and no impact there. And they get maybe the best offensive lineman in the draft in Nelson out of Notre Dame, and he proves to be all-pro his first year. They got a linebacker, Smith, who becomes an all-pro his first year. They don't really get out there in the free agency market like a lot of teams do and spend a lot of money. In fact, oddly enough, they've got the highest cap money available in their cap of over $100 million. But they did go out this year. I think they got two people. They got the big, tall receiver Funches from Carolina, who was a free agent. And I'm not saying he's going to be in any great shakes, but he could give them a presence in the red zone, in particular. Big, tall guy who could go up and catch the football. Now, he may not even make their football team, and they also picked up a good pass rusher, I think, in Houston from Kansas City, who is certainly of value to them, and I think may have another year or two. They signed him to a 2-year contract and got him at a good deal, I think. So that's a big one. And then this year, their draft, they moved out of the first round, moved down. They had 3 number 2 picks, and they picked all defensive players in the draft with their 8 picks. I think they had 8 or 9. They had all defensive players. Certainly in the cornerback with their first number 2 pick, kid out of Temple. They had they drafted 2 safeties, and they drafted a couple of linebackers, and they drafted a rush guy. The one guy that they drafted on offense, I think maybe a home run hitter, and that's the receiver from Ohio State. He is, to me, I think he had the fastest time at the combine. All the drills, he showed that he had great control of his body, which a receiver has to have to be able to make all the moves and breaks. Keeps his shoulders over his feet. He's got good eye-hand coordination. He's a receiver, good receiver, and he's got that great speed. He's going to be a major plus, I think, for this football team. So look out, NFL. Colts just continued to very quietly rebuild that football team, and they're a good football team. And keep in mind now, Jordan, they have at exactly the right age, they have one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League in Luck. So they're set. They're getting set and ready to go.
All right, Coach. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take our first time out of the show. When we come back, we'll have more Talk Football with Coach K. We'll continue to take a look at some schedules for both college and NFL teams. On today's show, we're going to be taking a look at the Tennessee Volunteers 2019 schedule as well as the New England Patriots schedule. So when we come back, we'll be looking at the Tennessee Volunteers 2019 schedule, telling you how we think they'll fare this upcoming season. That's coming your way next right here on Talk Football with Coach K on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Sometimes your bank, your family, and your friends love you, but they don't have the money to help you. Sometimes we have chances to make money, but the old saying, you've got to have money to make money, rings true. At Pensacola Specialty Pond, we can help. If you have trucks, heavy equipment, airplanes, boats, jet skis, anything with value, Pensacola Specialty Pond can loan you that short-term money you need. No credit checks, and at Pensacola Specialty Pond, you're going to find the money and the discretion you need.
Now at 6428 Pensacola Boulevard, north of Car City. Call 432-9050, 432-9050.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
Wings are now on Beef O'Brady's 2 for $20 deal. Wings?
Bigger bang, same buck. Pick a starter plus 2 entrees. Like 10 of Beef's famous wings, still $20. 2 for $20. Worth every penny.
Tower, this is Alpha Squad. Something smells mighty good up here. Who's hungry? Over.
Beef's 2 for $20. Pick a starter and 2 entrees. Like Beef's new chicken tender Parmesan skillet, still just $20.
Lowe's knows you're the pro who does it right to find more ways to save because your business depends on it. Lowe's does it right with savings during our Memorial Day sale. Whether finishing up a property or updating one, stop in now and get a Harbor Breeze Builder Series ceiling fan for only $39.96. And load up on appliance savings with a Whirlpool laundry pair for just $858. And get up to 40% off select appliance special values. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 5/29. See store for details, U.S. only.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every dollar spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on your HD radio at HD2 98.7 WICT, and streaming on our website at ESPNpensacola.com. Welcome back into Talk Football with Coach K. I'm Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K. And if you want to be a part of today's show, 972-1945. Again, that studio line, 972-1945. Coach, let's just go ahead and jump right into it here. Taking a look at the 2019 football schedule for the Tennessee Volunteers. And, Coach, a couple of games here to get them started off on the year. They're going to start week 1, August 31st, taking on Georgia State. The Panthers are going to come to Neyland Stadium. Coach, you got to think Georgia State coming in. This is a Tennessee football team that even if they're not the most improved football team, Coach, still going to be good enough to beat Georgia State.
Yeah, well, Tennessee was improved last year, second half of the year. They really were in a position to come on to quite a few teams. So, yeah, I think that's good for them. They get a good opening game, get a chance to play a lot of people, get a little momentum going. Yeah, they take care of business there.
All right, Coach. And the next game coming up September 7th, it's a little bit of a test. I say a little bit of a test as the BYU Cougars will come to Neyland Stadium. Coach, this is a game you would expect a team with SEC talent caliber players to win, but BYU is not going to go quietly into the night. They're going to put up a little bit of a fight in this game.
Yeah, I'd say they're going to put up a lot of fight. I would be concerned about BYU coming in. They're a good football team. They've got tradition. They're a good football school. They traditionally bring in those kids. They just rehash that talent pool that they have out there. They bring in every year. They get a good group of recruits, and they just retool and go play. They usually end up with a pretty good quarterback. I'm not sure exactly what they have, but I would say this is going to be a tough game for Tennessee. Could well lose it. But let's give them a win there at home.
All right, Coach. So we have them 2-0 so far on the young season. They'll head September 14th, staying once again at home at Neyland Stadium. They'll welcome in the Chattanooga Mocs. And Coach, this is is kind of an in-state game, but a game that Tennessee should win. So they should improve to 3-0 after this game.
They should, no question about it.
All right, then September 25th, it's their first road trip of the game, and Coach, it's going to be a biggie. They head to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the Swamp, to take on the Florida Gators.
Yeah, and this being on the road, if it were at home, it should be a much closer ball game. I think it's still going to be tight. They're going to play Florida tight, probably until later in the game, but it's going to be hot down there, and Florida's got too much depth, and I think more talent at this point. Tennessee's not quite to the point where they can beat the Florida Gators at home. So I think Florida takes care of business down there.
All right, Coach, they get a week off to take care of any kind of injuries or bumps and bruises they may have before they go back home to Neyland Stadium. It doesn't get any easier, Coach. The Georgia Bulldogs, expected more than likely to be a top 5 team at this point in the time. They're coming into Neyland Stadium to take on the Tennessee Vols.
Yeah, that's tough playing Florida and Georgia 2 weeks in a row. But one way to look at it is they're going to get them out of the way.
Yeah.
And they will be a better football team for having played those two. They're going to play two of the best. But I think Georgia comes in and they just get too much firepower, especially with Fromm. And this will have given him a chance to really get into the groove. And Georgia should come in a good football team and win that game.
And, Coach, this is kind of almost a tough stretch that's going to make or break Tennessee's schedule, or Tennessee's year, I should say. They start off with Florida, then they have that week off. They welcome in Georgia to Neyland Stadium. Then they have a game that they could possibly be able to win against Mississippi State at Neyland Stadium.
Yeah, at Neyland Stadium, that's the key right there. They're at home. They've just played Florida and Georgia. This is going to be a much more accommodating, to put it that way, game for them. Nothing's easy. But it'll be a better matchup for their people than they've had the previous 2 weeks. So, yeah, I think they win. That's a big win for them because it really puts them in the driver's seat here on a win-loss.
All right, Coach, we move now to October 19th. This game is not accommodating for the Tennessee Volunteers. They have to go to Bryant-Denny Stadium to take on Alabama.
Yeah, that's what you get for playing in the SEC. So, this is a traditional game every year, Tennessee and Alabama. So having to go to Tuscaloosa is a tough chore. They go down. I think they play Alabama pretty tough this year. I really do. This will be like their bowl plus game. But they'll go down and play Alabama tough. But they can't. I don't think they can beat Alabama yet.
All right, Coach. Then they'll head back home to Neyland Stadium to welcome in Will Muschamp and the South Carolina Gamecocks.
That's going to be an interesting ball game. Both teams are going to look at it as a must-win. I can assure you. I'm going to give Tennessee an edge here at home over South Carolina. I think it's going to be tough for South Carolina to go in there on the road and beat Tennessee. And Tennessee's, listen, at this point, they will have played Florida, Georgia, Alabama. They lost those 3 ball games, but they've played tough, and they've still won some ball games along the way. They're not dummies. They can look at their schedule now and know if they pull everything together and play well, this could be a very significant year for them. Again, they're playing at home again. So let's give Tennessee the edge there.
All right, Coach. We have them 5-3 heading into a November 2nd date against the UAB Blazers at Neyland Stadium. Coach, UAB not a pushover team. They did win double-digit games last year and on their way to the Bahamas Bowl. But Coach, again, the talent level is completely different in this game. UAB might be able to hang around for a little bit, but eventually Tennessee should pull away.
That's about right. UAB could hang around for a short while, but a short while only. Tennessee will take care of that game.
All right, Coach. So we have them at 6-3 heading into Kroger Field in Lexington, taking on the Kentucky Wildcats.
Interesting game. Both teams, you can bet both teams have this one circled as a must-win. We've done Kentucky. I don't remember exactly how I picked this game for Kentucky, but it's at Kentucky. Tennessee is much improved. I really think it's a toss-up game. I think it's a flip-the-coin game. But let's give Kentucky the edge. They're playing at home. So Kentucky edges Tennessee there. Barely.
All right, Coach. With that loss, they dropped to 6-4 on the year, heading into an off week before then heading to Columbia, Missouri to take on the Missouri Tigers.
I think they go beat Missouri in Columbia. Missouri's going to be down a little bit. They should have lost their quarterback, lost a couple of other people off that football team. So they've got a ways to go. But Tennessee will play well enough to go beat them.
All right, Coach. Then finally, we'll wrap it up in the regular season. They'll be heading. They'll be staying home at Neyland Stadium to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Yeah, that's the old traditional Tennessee versus Tennessee type game. But they're better than Vanderbilt, and we all know that. And it's a tough job every year for Vanderbilt, but especially playing at home. Now you're looking at Tennessee with a pretty good record for a Tennessee football team that has the indignity of terrible records over the last 10 years.
No, you're absolutely right on that, Coach. You take a look at it, 5-7 under year one of Jeremy Pruitt, and if things play out the way we see them here on Talk Football, 8-4 in 2019. That'd be a big improvement from 5-7 to 8-4. So, Coach, Tennessee looking to continue to improve under Jeremy Pruitt. Do you think that Jeremy Pruitt is the guy that can get Tennessee back to competing with the Floridas and the Georgias at the top of the SEC East?
No, I don't. You see, that's a tall chore. There's a big jump from here where they are now,
right,
to the Georgia and Florida and Alabama and Clemson level. Because Alabama and Clemson are up here. I think Georgia may be in that. We're very near that group, but they're not. Tennessee's not there yet, and obviously it's another big jump, significant jump from where they are now to that level. Is he the guy to get them there? I think he's done a heck of a job. Now we're going to find. I think it's absolutely imperative that he keeps a very, very competent offensive coordinator on his staff. That's going to be the key for Jeremy Pruitt. He is a defensive-minded guy, and he'll do a good job with the defense, overseeing the defense, even though he's the head coach. But he's got to keep an offensive coordinator on that football team that can do a good job with personnel evaluation and placement of personnel, as well as good with the X's and O's and schematically scripting for a football game.
All right, Coach. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we will be taking a look at the New England Patriots schedule inside the NFL, so you don't want to miss out on that, Patriot fans. It's coming up next right here on Talk Football with Coach K on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Wings are now on Beef O'Brady's 2 for $20 deal. Wings?
Wings. Bigger bang, same buck. Pick a starter plus 2 entrees. Like 10 of Beef's famous wings, still $20. 2 for $20. Worth every penny.
Tower, this is Alpha Squad. Something smells mighty good up here. Who's hungry? Over.
Beef's 2 for $20. Pick a starter and 2 entrees. Like Beef's new chicken tender Parmesan skillet, still just $20.
Listen up, fellas. DXL is built for big and tall guys, okay? Which means they've got clothes built for style, built for comfort, and best of all, built for you. Get this, DXL's spent years developing their own sizing patterns to deliver a great fit every time and every size. And with over 100 brands, DXL will have you looking great. So head to DXL.com and check out a store near you. DXL Big and Tall, built for you at DXL.com. Are you a big guy fed up with clothes that don't fit? Here's a tip. Head to DXL. Anyone can make a bigger shirt, but DXL makes clothes that actually fit. It's all they do. Want to know their secret? Okay, they've spent years developing their own sizing patterns to make sure it's a comfortable fit every time and every size. Good luck finding that anywhere else. So head to DXL.com and check out a store near you. DXL Big and Tall, built for you at DXL.com.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on your HD radio at HD2 98.7 WICT, and streaming on our website, ESPNpensacola.com. Welcome back into Talk Football. If you want to be a part of the show, call us on our studio line, 972-1945, 972-1945. Don't forget, you can also find us on social media at Facebook and Instagram. It's Talk Football with Coach K, and then also on Instagram, on Twitter, it's Talk Football WCK on Twitter. So again, Facebook and Instagram is Talk Football with Coach K. Twitter, it's a little different. It's Talk Football WCK. But you can follow us there and learn about all the upcoming guests we have. I know, Coach, we're gonna have a couple of guests joining us coming up a little later on this week. Actually, tomorrow and Friday on the show, we're gonna be having a couple of guests.
Yeah, tomorrow and Friday. Yes, we are, and they'll be interesting. People who are extremely knowledgeable and have a tremendous opportunity to see what's going on around the league and in college. And one of them is going to be Vic Carucci, who most people know. Vic is a very well-known, you see him on ESPN quite a bit, but he's quite a well-known sports editor of the Buffalo Evening News up there, the Buffalo papers, and just does an outstanding job. He's a very credible guy. Should be interesting for sure.
Absolutely, Coach. And if you do happen to miss either one of those interviews, whether it's tomorrow or Friday, you can actually check them out over on the Talk Football podcast. You can find that on Pippa.io and several other different streaming sites, including Spotify and SoundCloud. So you can go check out the podcast there if you happen to miss the day's show. And we have an interview on. We always repost the interviews right there on the podcast. All right, Coach, let's get into the New England Patriots schedule here for 2019. We started off here. They're going to be on the road. This is preseason games here, Coach. They're going to be taking on Detroit, Tennessee, Carolina, and the Giants in the postseason. Coach, with the postseason, you kind of get that situation where you're going to see Tom Brady, you're going to see the big-name players for maybe 5 to 10 plays a game, and then they're going to be out. So we're going to go breeze on past the postseason or the preseason here and head right to the starting of the regular season on September 8th. They're going to be taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers at home in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough.
Yeah, that's the league puts a tough football team in there early, usually with the Patriots. Listen, the Patriots are the biggest draw on television.
They are.
When they're playing, people tune in. Why do they tune in? Some of them are haters. Some love to see them play. I'm an ex-coach. I love to see them play. If they're playing, I want to watch them because of the way they play the game. It's beautiful, beautiful execution. Now, at home opening ball game, I think, despite the fact that they usually don't play their best early in the season, but I think with Pittsburgh coming in, there'll be enough juice flowing that they'll want to play this one and play it tough. Let's give New England the win there.
All right, Coach, and we have them starting off 1-0 before they head down south to South Florida, Hard Rock Stadium, where they'll take on their former defensive coordinator, Coach Flores, who is now the head coach for the Miami Dolphins.
Right. I would say if Miami was settled and really had their program under control at this point, it'd be a tough outing for New England because, again, they don't play that well first of the season. They play better from midseason on. Now, but this, based on what we're seeing in Miami right now, and this being a division game, I think we got to give this one to New England.
All right, Coach. So we'll give them their second win on the year. They'll be 2-0 as they head into our back to Gillette Stadium, I should say, for Game 3 against the New York Jets. Adam Gase, the guy that's familiar with coaching against the Patriots, he was the Miami Dolphins quarterback the past couple of seasons, head coach the past couple of seasons, and he is going to be having quarterback Sam Darnold in his offense this year, Coach. New York they brought in some talent in the offseason, but Coach, still got to think they're nowhere close to competing with the Patriots at home in New England.
Well, they're closer than you might think. This is going to be a tough football game for them. Again, but it's a division game. It's at home. It's double jeopardy for them. Now, if this were in New York, I might pick the Jets right here. If this were in New York, it's not. It's at home. It's a division game, and like you say, they're not equal to the Patriots at this point, but they're getting a lot closer, and they have had some good acquisitions there. But let's give that one to the Pats as well.
All right, Coach. They'll be heading into Week 4 of the season on the road to New Era Field in Orchard Park, New York, taking on the Buffalo Bills.
If this weren't Buffalo, if it might be and any one of these. Now, keep in mind this is a National Football League, and we should have prefaced by saying, there are no northeastern, western Missouri on the schedule.
Right.
There are no cupcakes. We got to play it tough every week. Again, division game. They're gonna want to. Buffalo's gonna be tough on them, but I don't think Buffalo can beat them, especially with a division game. I think we got to give it to them. And this is something really, really important with New England. Now, normally they don't come out of the box, winning this many football games.
No, you are absolutely right on that, Coach. And we will move on here to their next game. They'll be heading into FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, where the Washington Redskins play. Coach Dwayne Haskins presumably is going to be the quarterback, so we're going to have Dwayne Haskins versus Tom Brady in this matchup. Coach, I think most people would pick Tom Brady in that scenario.
Yeah, I think you're right. But But somewhere along the way here, Jordan, against these that look like big wins for them, they're going to trip up a little bit. Something's going to happen. This could be the case at Washington, but I kind of got to go with you on this. You know, this early in the season, the Redskins are not going to have time to put everything together this quickly. So let's say that they're still suffering from rookie-itis and some other things that could happen. New England goes in, takes care of that football game there. Yeah, let's go with New England.
All right, Coach, moving now to October 10th. They'll head back home to Gillette Stadium where they will welcome in the New York Giants. Eli Manning, the quarterback there, and the Giants trying to get things back on track, Coach. And they're heading into Gillette Stadium again on October 10th.
Okay, they're coming into Gillette Stadium. I think the schedule, one reason that we're going through this is because where a game's played, when it's played, time of the season, off weeks, all those other time of the day sometimes makes a difference. All those factor into win and loss. And if this was in New York, I would take the Giants here. But I think being at Gillette Stadium, we got to stay with them right now. They're just staying on a heck of a roll, but we've got to stay with them. Somewhere they're going to slip up in here. Somewhere we've missed one, but that's okay.
And this will be a short week for both teams, as this will be a Thursday night game on October 10th. So they'll come right off of their Sunday game on October 6th, right into this one there in Foxborough. Coach, moving forward now, they're going to go from.
Now hold on just a minute.
Yes, sir.
Do both of them have the same disadvantage?
I believe they do. Let me take a look at this here. Let me look at the Giants' schedule here. Yes, the Giants will play Minnesota at MetLife at home on October 6th. So they'll both be playing a short week coming off of October 6th right to October 10th.
Okay, well that makes a difference. And yeah, you got to go with both. Then the traveling team really has a disadvantage on the short week. So yeah, we got to go with New England there.
All right, Coach, so we will now head from the Giants and to the Jets. So they'll be sticking with the New York teams. This time, though, they'll be on the road in MetLife for a division game against the Jets.
I think it catches up with them here, and I think the Jets, by this time, have had a chance to put together something, get a little momentum, and we haven't looked at their schedule, but I really believe the Jets are going to be better. And playing at home against New England, you know what? This is kind of like a little like a Super Bowl when you get New England at home, especially in the division. So let me give that to the Jets.
All right, Coach, and let's head now to Sunday, October 27th. It's going to be at Gillette Stadium. They're going to be welcoming Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham Jr., and the Cleveland Browns here, Coach. And this is going to be a Week 7 matchup. Coach, how do you see this one playing out?
Well, again, they're lucky this is at New England. This is a Sunday game.
It is, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think they take this one home, but it's going to be close. It's going to be a real close ball game. Cleveland is going to be good. I'm not going to jump out there like some people have put them in the Super Bowl already, but they're going to be a good football team, no doubt about it.
All right, Coach, let's move now to Sunday, November 3rd, where they will head to M&T Bank Stadium to take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, if Lamar Jackson is still there, he's not in a hospital somewhere, after running the ball as much as he does. That's going to be a tough football game for him at Baltimore. But I think we got to give it to New England at Baltimore.
All right, Coach. So currently we have them 8-1 heading into their bye week. Once they're done with the bye week, Sunday, November 17th, they'll head to Lincoln Financial Field. Again, they're sitting at 8-1 on the year, heading to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles.
Right, they're going to run into problems there. Philadelphia's a good football team. It's at Philadelphia. Again, big ball game for them, for the Eagles. And I just think the Eagles take this football game. They win it there.
All right, Coach, that drops them to 8-2 on the year as they head back home to Gillette Stadium to take on the Dallas Cowboys.
This is going to be a big game for for both teams, but New England is going to like the fact that they have the Dallas Cowboys coming to New England.
Right.
And I don't see any way they're going to let them out of there losing that football game. I think it's going to be New England at home over Dallas.
All right, Coach, let's head now to their next game. They'll go on the road to NRG Stadium in Houston, where they'll be taking on the Texans on Sunday, December 1st.
Having just played Dallas in New England and Philadelphia at Philadelphia, two pretty tough football teams they got to play there. They go to Houston. Houston's got, keep in mind, Houston's got a lot of talent on that football team. I think Houston steals one down there at Houston.
That would be their third loss on the year, Coach, and it'd be a tough game to lose as they head back home to Gillette Stadium and welcome in Kansas City, the Chiefs coach, Patrick Mahomes, and that high-powered Kansas City offense. Not so sure what we're going to see from them on the defensive side of the ball because they lost a lot there. But, Coach, a rematch of the AFC Championship game on Sunday, December 8th in Foxborough.
Another reason that I think they might lose that Houston game down there is they had Dallas coming into Foxborough, which is a big, huge game for them. And now they got Kansas City coming in. Everybody knows that's the rematch of the championship game. And they know what's at stake there. I think they're going to play this one like a playoff game. I really do, because they're probably going to meet again in the playoffs, and it's good to have that home field advantage. I think they beat Kansas City in New England. Big game for them.
All right, Coach, that pushes them to 10-3 on the year before they head on the road. Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, taking on a Cincinnati Bengals team. Coach said we're not really sure what we're going to get from them this year.
Yeah, I don't have much confidence in that Cincinnati football team, but I think you got to give New England a win there. My gosh, I can't see Cincinnati winning that ball game, especially if Kansas City or someone else in the league, in the American Football Conference, has a real good record and is in contention with them for home field advantage. It's important that they keep that home field advantage. I just don't see Cincinnati having enough to beat them, especially if there's anything on the line.
All right, Coach, so we head into the last 2 weeks of the season. The Patriots are 11-3 at this point. Their last two games of the year are AFC East matchups, but the good news for them, they're both at home at Gillette Stadium. Coach, Saturday, December 21st, they will be welcoming in the Buffalo Bills. Coach, again, this is the second time they've played the Bills on the season. This time it's going to be at home for the Patriots, though.
Right. I think they let's say they're pretty much in that same situation. I think they have to play to win that football game, and they beat Buffalo. And the next week they've got Miami coming in, and if they've got things wrapped up, then you don't know how they're going to play that football game, whether they rest their starters or whatever. So let's give them a loss to Miami coming in that last game, but it still gives them quite a record going in. I think a 4-loss record, right?
It does. It gives them a 12-4 record overall, Coach. You got to think they're going to be one of the top two seeds inside the AFC playoff picture. And, Coach, is it fair to say that all roads more than likely are going to lead once again to a Kansas City, New England AFC championship game? Or do you see a team like, we talked about Indianapolis earlier in the show. Do you see maybe a team like Indianapolis being a team that could possibly, if they get the opportunity, the right week, the right time in the postseason, maybe they could knock off one of these teams and spoil that path that everybody seems to have?
That's what makes it so interesting. I think the Colts are one of the coming teams in the league, and I think they're going to be right there near the top teams in the league. I think you're in the conference. So, if I had to guess right now, it's a great question, but I think the Colts are really going to be right in the middle of all this, and could end up being the team that you got to go through to get any further in the playoffs. They're going to be there. I think they'll certainly be in the playoffs, whether they have to go through there or not.
All right, Coach. Well, we are We are just continuing to flow through these series here of where we're basically what we're doing here is we're taking a look at these schedules and basically kind of predicting exactly what we think will happen throughout the off season here. And again, we just got done with the New England Patriots. They finished 12-4 on the year, Coach. A solid year for them, exactly what you would expect from a New England Patriots team.
Yeah, I think it's important that people realize what we're doing is giving them a look. I don't care what coaches say or general managers or players or anybody else. Once they get the schedule, they go through the schedule, and you look for a myriad of things in the schedule, and it helps with the planning and the scheduling of how you want things done with your football team. Now, coaches look at these games, and in particular, the tough ask, like do you have to play a Thursday game right after a road game? Like we saw there, are there Saturday games involved in this? Do I have a night? How many night games do we have?
Right.
Where we have to play and then come back? And do we have to play two tough opponents 2 weeks in a row? Opponents that you know you're going to get bruised up against. So you look at all those things, and rather than just saying, I think New England will end up 10-6 or 11-5 or whatever in the season, you get a better idea when you go through and look at each game. Now, it's not like we've got a magic, we've got a crystal ball here we're looking at. That's not the case. Nor does anyone else. Most unpredictable thing in the world is trying to predict something like NFL games. But when you look at the schedule like that, you get a little better picture than you do by just throwing out a number. And that's what we're doing. The same thing with colleges. When you look at all the things that surround a certain scenario, you get a much better picture. And so when you make a prognostication, let's call it, and then you've got a little bit more to go on than you would by just pulling it out of the air.
All right, Coach, I got a question for you here real quick before we head to break. You take a look at some of these teams that were in last place, and the list of last place teams inside the NFL is Arizona, Cincinnati, Detroit, Jacksonville, both New York's teams, the Jets and the Giants, the Oakland Raiders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coach, some of these teams, Oakland has made some big moves in the offseason so far. Tampa has made some moves. I'm not necessarily sure if I would call those big moves. But, of course, Coach, also Jacksonville bringing in Nick Foles as their quarterback. Which one of these teams that were a last-place team in their division a year ago is a team that you could see having the biggest turnaround and being a team that actually is playing some decent football? I'm not going to say great football or even playoff contending football, but decent football inside 2019.
Okay, let's look at the teams there that we feel are going to be much better. Now, we're not saying they're going from last to first,
right?
But are going to be much better. And I think you can start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're going to be a much better football team. I think Oakland is going to be better. And I think both New York teams are going to be better. I really do. I feel there's no question about those teams being better than they were this year, and which means some other teams are going to fall. And so you can also go through that. But I do feel like those teams are going to be better.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll take our final timeout of the show. When we come back, we'll wrap things up and look ahead for tomorrow's show right here on Talk Football with Coach K on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Wings are now on Beef O'Brady's 2 for $20 deal. Wings?
Wings. Bigger bang, same buck. Pick a starter plus 2 entrees. Like 10 of Beef's famous wings, still $20. 2 for $20. Worth every penny.
Tower, this is Alpha Squad. Something smells mighty good up here. Who's hungry? Over.
Beef's 2 for $20. Pick a starter and 2 entrees. Like Beef's new chicken tender Parmesan skillet, still just $20.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
There's only one place in town for the lowest prices and greatest selection of firearms. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Visit our fully stocked Gun Pro shop for new and used firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Check out the Indoor Shooting Range. We offer rentals on guns, including fully automatic machine guns and silencers. Ladies, this is the safe place to learn how to use a gun. Plus, Tuesday is Ladies' Day. Women shoot for half price all day. The best place to buy firearms in Pensacola. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range, Highway 29 in Car City.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every dollar spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on your HD radio at HD2 98.7 WYCT, and streaming on our website, ESPNpensacola.com. Welcome back into Talk Football with Coach K. I'm Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K. And as we get ready to close out today's show, if you want to be a part of it, 972-1945. That is our studio line number, 972-1945. Coach, some of the headlines from today's show that we have not gotten to just yet. Coach, it looks like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Ndamukong Suh have come to an agreement there on a deal, and it looks like Suh is going to be now a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line for the 2019 season.
Right. Well, they cut one of their Star McCoy, I think.
Right.
Gerald McCoy yesterday or day before, and so he's likely a replacement because he's out there on the market. But again, you got to be concerned about what he's going to do for your locker room.
No, you're absolutely right on that, Coach. That's definitely something you've got to keep an eye on. Obviously, Ndamukong Suh is a guy who's not necessarily had the greatest publicity throughout his career with all the issues from when he was with the Detroit Lions of stepping and stomping on opposing players. Coach, some college football news. Florida State have extended their rivalry. They're expected to continue to play through the year 2022. Coach, this is probably a situation that when 2021 gets here, they'll probably extend it a few more years. Coach, this is a rivalry that I don't expect to see go away anytime soon.
Well, I don't think it can. I think it was mandated, passed in law by the Florida State Legislature in 1950s. Was it 1956 maybe? They started playing 50s. Well, anyway, 57 I think was the first year, but it's one that's mandated by the legislature, so I don't think they can change it.
No, sir, not. I don't. I think
Nor
you're-
would
I
they
think
want
you're
to
right
either. Nor would they want to.
I don't think they would either. That is one of the big money makers for both teams and the television corporations as well. And plus, it's just a great rivalry to have inside college football. All right, Coach, some other news. It does look like Joe Moorhead has been extended through the year 2022 as well. Speaking of that year and getting extensions, so he's been extended through 2022 as well. Coach, 8-5 his first season at Mississippi State. Interesting season for them. Not exactly what they expected under his first year, but they decided to give him the extension nonetheless.
Yeah, they may regret that. I'm not sure, but they underachieved this past year, no doubt about it. We'll see what they do this year. Maybe he comes back and has a great year. I don't know, but because he was saddled with the players they had, the quarterback, and some of the staff. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Coach, some other headlines from today's show. The interesting new aspect that's going to be coming to, or could possibly be coming to the NFL's challenge rule of the pass interference calls late in the game. Coach, they kind of changed this following the NFC Championship game, the way you looked at the way that game played out. And then just everything that kind of came after that, the backlash towards the NFL. They announced that they were going to allow those plays to be, or those penalties to be reviewed. Now, Coach, it looks like we could see some further amendments to that new rule change. And Coach, this is just it's going to be interesting, and it's something that we need to continue to keep an eye out on and keep an ear out for. And obviously, we're not going to have really any kind of more updates until the owners meet again.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to wait until after the owners meeting, find out what they are really talking about here. I'm not sure how they want to extend that, but they'll bring it up at the owners meeting, and we'll know a heck of a lot more about it, and we can comment on it then.
Absolutely, Coach, and we will do just that. Some other news from around the NFL. Greg Olsen has been cleared for all activity and all functions with the team. Coach, if they're able to get Cam Newton back, this could be a big pickup for their offense, a big step in the right direction for their offense, and kind of get them back on the track that we saw them on a few seasons ago. But the big question there is, now that they've got Greg Olsen back, will Cam Newton be ready for the 2019 season as well?
True, and Greg Olsen is a really a good tight end, and he's an asset for any football team, much less there. They really need him healthy. So I'm glad for him that he's going to have a chance to do it. He's been totally cleared by the doctors, which is good.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, we continue our series of taking a look at some of these teams' schedules and breaking it down, as you said a moment ago before we went to break, not just kind of looking at it and going game by game and telling why we think they would win the game or lose the game, but looking at it as like a coach would at this point in the year, seeing if there's any games that are on unusual days or short weeks. And so far, Coach, we went over Tennessee today, 8-4 for the Volunteers in college football. The Patriots, 12-4 for them. It's a big step for the Tennessee Volunteers, kind of exactly what you'd expect from the Patriots.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much on course, and look for Tennessee to be better. I'm telling you, they did a good job last year. Doesn't mean now they're going to jump into the same class with Alabama and Georgia, but they're going to be better.
All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.